Welcome back to Cleared for Takeoff. We're in the final stretch of the series, and today I want to do something a little different. Over the course of producing this podcast and having conversations with institutional investors and family offices, we've accumulated a set of questions that come up again and again. Today I'm going to work through those questions as candidly and directly as I can. No sales pitch, just honest answers. Let's start with the one that comes up most often. If the opportunity is so obvious, why hasn't everyone already done it? It's a fair challenge. The honest answer is that it takes a very specific combination of capabilities to execute in this space. You need aviation operational expertise. You have to understand how airports work, how FBO relationships function, how MRO economics are structured. You need real estate and development capability. You have to navigate the regulatory and construction processes we've described, and you need relationship capital with airport authorities, with potential tenants, with MRO technician community. Most institutional investors don't have all three. Most generalist real estate operators don't have the aviation expertise. Most aviation operators don't have the institutional capital access. The combination that makes this executable is genuinely rare, and that's part of why the opportunity exists. What happens if there's a major recession and business aviation demand falls significantly? We touched on this in episode 27, but it's worth a direct answer here. In a severe recession, flight activity would decline. Corporate travel budgets get cut. Some fractional programs might see cancellations, but based aircraft and long-term hangar leases are much stickier than transient traffic. The rent keeps coming even when the aircraft is flying fewer hours. And mandatory MRO revenue, the legally required maintenance, doesn't disappear just because the economy is soft. The base of the revenue structure is much more durable than most people assume. The 2008-2009 experience, arguably the most severe recession in decades, reduced activity significantly, but the market recovered strongly and came back to new highs within a few years. The current demand base, with its larger and more permanent owner population, is arguably more resilient than it was in 2008. How does this compare to just buying a REIT or an infrastructure fund? REITs are liquid, which is genuinely valuable, but liquidity has a cost. It means the market has fully priced the asset. Aviation infrastructure is illiquid and undiscovered at the fund level, which means the discovery premium is still available to early investors. Infrastructure funds at the large institutional level are buying mature assets with fully priced cash flows. We're building assets in underserved markets where entry valuations reflect the current seller profile, not the institutional buyer's willingness to pay at exit. That gap between entry and exit is where the alpha lives. REITs and infrastructure funds don't have the access to that gap. Emerging managers with the right expertise and relationships do. Last one for today. How do I know Pentagonal Aviation Infrastructure is the right team to execute this? That's the right question to ask, and I'd invite any serious investor to do the full due diligence. Look at the track record. Understand the operating experience in actual aviation facilities. Talk to airport authority contacts. Evaluate the relationships with potential tenant flight departments. The thesis can be articulated by anyone with access to the data. The execution requires a team that has actually done this work on the ground. I believe Pentagonal Aviation Infrastructure has that team, and I'd encourage you to verify that for yourself. In the final episode, I'll lay out exactly where we go from here and how to have that next conversation.